It's not often in F1 that we get a new world champion, but today we'll be talking about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and, of course, the world champion, Lando Norris. I'm AJX, I'm joined by Sorgon
Hello, hi F1 fans.
yeah, new world champion.
Yeah, indeed, a new world champion.
Ah,
Uh, quite the scenes. We haven't had one since 21. It was the Max's first title that you remember, right? Abu Dhabi 21, one of your most memorable races.
now I can't remember that race.
I mean,
Can't
2K
remember
played
that
this game,
race.
right? Anyways,
My favorite thing about Lando Norris winning has been, and we'll get on to it, the fact that Max Verstappen fans try and compare what happened with Yuki and Lando to Abu Dhabi 21.
I mean, I don't quite think that's even a remotely similar
Yeah, it's
situation.
not, it's not, is it? It's not, is it?
No, no, no. I think completely different. Like there's how do they even compare that?
Exactly.
What? I mean, I've seen I've seen the thing. We all seen it during the race. Lando went off track, but Yuki kind of forced him off track, right? Not that it was allowed to overtake off track, but I believe the reasoning was that Lando was already ahead while
Well,
going off
actually,
track or something. I
with the
actually don't know.
rules, you are allowed to overtake off track if forced off track. So
No,
he
no.
was absolutely fine.
I don't think that's the rules because everyone would just overtake around the outside and then they just would say they haven't been given space. That's the thing that everyone talks about. Like whenever you have the inside line going to the corner, you always come out ahead
I
because
think
you can push another driver off. That's pretty much the other thing. But this was a straight. It wasn't even corner.
that is true. That is true.
Yuki
It's
waved
difficult.
a couple of times. Obviously, tried his best. I mean, wasn't the best effort. Wasn't anywhere near Sergio Perez 4 years ago, but he did what he thought was correct at the time. It wasn't. Lana got ahead. Yuki got a penalty, ironically. So not much of help from a teammate. Max got there. So yeah, Lando ended up just staying ahead of Charles. That's what they needed to do to finish on the podium. Charles was very quick
Yeah,
during the race. He really looked like he could attack Lando at certain points, but it's a Ferrari after all. You
yeah. It
cannot
was.
expect him to drive wheels off that trash
They'd be
bin.
quick, and then they'd just go.
Yeah,
Nope. It's just go. Okay, no, not anymore. Like we've seen it all season, right? The McLaren
mm.
is so much nicer on their tires than any other car. Um, and especially the Ferrari. So yeah, every
Yeah.
time it was getting close, and then it just Lando would be able to stretch ahead, stretch his tires, and yeah. But yeah, good. Well, we should start from the start of the weekend, shouldn't we, rather than heading to because I have more to say on that. But
Yeah, I know.
we obviously went into this weekend knowing that we'd get a champion.
Yes.
And straight away it was sort of, well, first two practice sessions it seemed to be looked like it was Lando. Obviously Piastri was on his break one, the young driver test.
Yes.
So he was in a practice one, and then practice two it was fine, and then yeah, Max Verstappen going into Saturday just finds the pace that he needs, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Abu Dhabi title decider. Max always performs at his best there. Uh, yeah, just absolutely brilliant effort in qualifying to get pole position ahead of the McLarens. Which I mean, he got two pole laps actually because his first lap was enough for pole. I mean, no,
Yes.
I don't exactly know how good were the laps for McLarens, but I don't feel like they were like super tidy, right? Super clean. I feel like McLarens could have challenged for pole position and should have been much closer to Max than the times
No, it
showed.
was. it was extremely impressive for Max to go, okay, I'm going to go from, you know, I'm going to go from having Yuki as my, drag. Also, lucky that Yuki got in, right? That hasn't been the case all season for Yuki to get into that P3. Sorry, Q3.
Yeah.
And then yeah, he just he had the little boost from Yuki around the track, and then I at that point thought no one's going to be able to beat that, and then Max manages to beat that. So an extremely impressive, you know, as you'd expect from Max. Though he is extremely impressive in all he does. So
Yeah.
big shout outs there.
Okay, I guess we can move over to the predictions and we'll talk about things that happened during the weekend as we go. Biggest surprise, Norris pull and win. Neither of those happened. I mean, he won the championship, but it doesn't count for this prediction. And Piastri will draw as champion. I mean, technically, those two ahead of him could still be disqualified. We've seen wilder things for in the F5, but it's very unlikely at this point. So I guess I get no points for that.
I think praying for that might send you crazy if I'm honest. So
yeah, I've kind of accepted that like halfway through the race pretty much already because like there was no stopping Max there unless there was a safety car. Because at one point Lando was being investigated. And if there was a safety car, Piastri could have jumped Max, and then Lando could have been behind Charles because of the penalty, and then we would be. Wait, actually, there wouldn't be enough. So there would need to be a safety car that would bunch up everyone, and then Lando would fall with the penalty all the way down to P11 or whatever, and then Piastri would be champion. But too many variables that happened at the same point. None of them happened, so. Yeah, no, okay. Overperformer, Max, perhaps, or I mean, you could argue for Charles and Ferrari was.
I think Charles was pretty good.
Yeah.
For how bad he's been.
Alonso from the midfield.
Yeah, Alonso. I was going to say for how bad he's been this last few races. Hamilton. Getting through the field, making what was it?
I mean, I don't think you want to get
no, I agree. I completely agree
with that. That's a standard.
But he's literally been out. That is the standard now. What do you mean? That is the standard.
That should not be the standard for.
He did make what? I think it was.
He made like 18. Yeah, 16 or 18. Yeah, I believe it was. He had the most overtakes of any driver that race.
It was fun watching him. It was fun watching him. I will, it's been a while to watch Hamilton do that. I think Max deserves a shout as well. I will say I expected him to do more. I hope that comes across in the right way. But I expected him to Max Verstappen it up, right? You expect Max to absolutely try everything, and he didn't, which was a bit of a shock.
I mean, I don't think he could have.
He was covered off. No, he was covered off. Right, that was the tactical.
What was he even supposed to do? Like, you cannot risk like slowing a drivers down if it means you can be attacked by, especially when Piastri overtaking him would mean that he would be behind him in the championship. So he couldn't risk that. He had to just stay in front and hope that something would happen to Lando.
Yes, exactly. It's rather interesting that given how poor McLaren's strategy has been over the season, or at least this end of the season, right, with the two cars and trying to not play favourites, that in the final race it finally actually did something that useful for once. It wasn't they strategically, like let Piastri through. The overtake, by the way, looks sensational. They could have made that look a little. They could have made that a bit more boring, but they let Piastri through on hards, and yeah, it just covered Max from doing anything right, and then they just trusted Norris to keep third. They always were making sure that Norris was in third the whole race. They pitted him earlier than most people would pit him, just so that they could cover Leclerc, so they didn't have to overtake Leclerc, which meant they had to overtake people like Yuki, people like there was a big lot of them, wasn't there, that he overtook.
Yeah.
But and that was a risk, but it was a risk that paid off.
Yeah.
And he did. That was some. If you're gonna get your driver to show off some overtakes when he's gonna become world driver champion, that was there was some pretty good overtakes in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, they were definitely.
The double
Unfortunately,
overtake.
but yeah. Okay, our performer as a driver, obviously we don't get points. Both Russell and Piastri don't qualify. I would give this honestly to either Max, Charles, or Fernando, right?
Yeah, that's fair enough. I can't think of who else was in the midfield. If there was any shocks, Ocon did quite well in this weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, he got into Q3, I believe, and finished ahead of Hamilton in P7. So yeah, Ocon, yeah, definitely a shout. Maybe even the biggest overperformer, considering his form compared to Behrman.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably Ocon.
Can I also give a shout out to, because I don't think we're going to for the rest of the thing, as much as he doesn't deserve overperformer, but that last lap overtake from Stroll, wow, absolutely crazy.
I haven't seen it, so I can't react to
It
that
is
appropriately.
insane.
I react sarcastic, or it was actually impressive?
No. It was. You know how some people sometimes joke that Stroll is like 99% Latifi and then like 1% Senna.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the 1% Senna. It was a absolutely insane overtake.
Yeah. Wish I could have seen it so I could react right.
It's all right. It's all right. One of us did.
Yeah. Thank you for covering that and covering all sorts of drivers around the field.
Covering all Stroll. Lance Stroll fan club.
Yeah. Okay. Underperformer. I don't know. do you? Because I don't think I remember a driver who was specifically bad this weekend.
I don't know.
I don't think there was. Maybe Lawson, but even then,
I think there's probably someone. Alex Albon.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, but
it wasn't a good weekend for Williams overall. But
I mean, Alex really hasn't
Kimi
shown
Antonelli
anything
as well
in the recent. Well, Antonelli. I mean, he still finished like in the points, right? Didn't?
No, he finished in 15th.
Oh damn! He's
the last person to press the DRS button as well.
That's cool. Yeah, P14 qualifying and P15 in the race. The right?
Yep.
Okay, Antonelli takes this. Okay, I thought Antonelli just finished randomly, like between P6 and P10 somewhere there. I'm just so used to like him being there right now. I don't know. It's just I didn't see him for the entire race, bro. I feel I was watching obviously other drivers for obvious reasons, but I don't think I've seen Antonelli the entire weekend.
Finished behind Yuki.
Oh damn!
Stonewall Sonoda.
Stonewall Sonoda. Yuki was his strategy was really compromised. He also didn't set a lap in Q3 as well. Like his weekend was pretty much all sacrifice for Max, and he didn't even do his best job. So it's can't really judge Yuki for where he finished. But
Yeah,
yeah, Antonelli,
bless,
this one definitely takes it.
bless him.
Yeah,
I can't believe that his final weekend was spent
his,
like you know, and this is the difference between him and Perez, right? And so, as you could probably argue, is the difference in the defense that both of them did.
yeah.
You know, uh, Stroll had something to. Uh, sorry, not Stroll. Yuki had something to fight for. Uh, or not Yuki had something to fight for. Yuki had nothing to fight for because he doesn't have a seat next season, whereas Perez was, going to be in that car next season, needed to show his show why he was why he deserved that seat.
You got a point. I still feel like Yuki should have tried more. Just basically finish out on a
I think,
high.
yeah.
'Cause
It
it
was,
was
yeah,
yeah.
also, you wanna back your teammate. I don't think that. I think somewhat, he could have just broke immediately as soon as he got into the, braking zone of one and two, not one and two. As soon as he got to the uh, the hotel section, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
But I think he just got in a bad position, and it was quite easy to overtake. Whereas the Red Bull from also there's just such a big difference now between the second and first Red Bull seat.
Yeah, there is, and it probably will
Whereas I don't
continue.
think there was for Perez and Verstappen. I think they were a lot closer. Now it is just
They
Verstappen on top.
they're also always closer at the start of the season, and as the season went on, Perez just dropped off always. And
Yeah,
yeah,
but in 2021, I don't think
2021,
that.
2021, they were never really close. I feel like
They're not close, but like they weren't. Perez was still getting third and fourths, right? Sonoda can't get
he
third or
was
fourth.
like further from Max and Bottas from Lewis that season. So I don't feel like Perez was close to Max in 21. It was much closer in 22, but then was the first year of regulations. Obviously, the car was brand new, not built for Max specifically. Unlike this year, for example, where we saw two drivers in the Red Bull seat, and none of them like really could challenge Max. I mean, Yuki out-qualified me once, and it was relatively close at certain points this season in qualifying, but never really challenged him in any meaningful way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unlike Perez, who even in his worst season 24 still managed to beat Max convincingly over a weekend that was in Baku, where he out-qualified him, and it was much quicker in the race, fighting for a win while Max was stuck in P5 or whatever. So, yeah.
Even so, yeah, I think people that think that Lando going off track are crazy. There was like you're only allowed to make one move on a straight. Yuki made about 5 before Lando even overtook him. So I think that was huge, and you just can't do that, right? You can't. I get the whole. He had to try and defend and this, that, and the other, but yeah, you're not. You shouldn't be defending in that way. And that's it's more so a Red Bull thing than a Yuki thing. But yeah, it was utter craziness, utter craziness.
Yeah, I'm gonna remind you, well, if you don't remember, back to the good old 21 Abu Dhabi. Do you remember the last lap? Obviously, you don't remember it, but after Max sent it down the inside of Lewis into turn 4, the straight after that, he did exactly the same thing as Yuki, except even more. He waved like 4 times there on the first straight. That was the
What
last
was
lap.
happened?
Yeah, Max. Yeah, he got not even anything for that back in the day.
Well,
So,
you see, my issue with that race isn't uh, Max Verstappen.
I
It's
know it's
the FIA. So
it's
you
it's
know,
it's the yeah, it's the always the same issues and FIA inconsistency over the entire. It's always the same thing. It's always Dad would talk about it that they cannot like ever consistently judge situations. Like sometimes they just judge a situation by its result, not by the thing that happened.
yeah, exactly. I
Like
mean, we've seen that this season with the whole
like
cutting corners
yeah, they shouldn't
in Mexico.
penalize. They should not penalize consequences, but rather they should penalize the deeds that
Yeah,
the things that
well,
happen.
I mean, we'll get. I don't think we'll talk about it in this one because this is about Abu Dhabi, right? But
Yeah.
you know, Max Verstappen has lost the championship because of a penalty um, that he gained early in the season. Um, you know, and there's a lot of like to and froms from that. But you know,
Yeah.
this is what why you can't do it off consequences. You need to do it
Mm.
firmly.
I
And
mean,
you know, you see bad refereeing in almost every sport, but it's
yeah,
the consistency of the FIA that's the consistent inconsistency of the FIA that's really getting to it.
yeah, true, true that. I believe, or not that I believe, I know, and I'm very, very uh, not looking forward to that continuing because it's not going to change at all. Like this FI is going to
No,
stay the same, and we're heading to the new regulations, completely new cars, and we're still going to get this exact same bullshit that we're getting for FI every year. It's at this point just that I don't feel
it's
like
it was interesting that a lot of you would have thought that you know the people the stewards from 2021 wouldn't have been allowed to steward this weekend, but they were. It was entirely their stewards. It was
yeah,
like there was like two people difference. Right, that's it's nuts.
yeah. I mean, I feel like we should have, or F1 should have, like a set, like actual employed people, not volunteers for stewards, because that's just so biased, right? Like, if you're gonna have the same people doing the same job every single race, you're gonna get much less much less sorry, much more consistency. That's what I'm trying to say. Rather
Yeah,
than having volunteers stewarding F1 races every race, pretty much. I mean, I would love to be a steward one day, and if I wants to, obviously, yeah, yeah.
you're gonna have to
Look,
get rid of your biases.
it's not like FIA does it, right? I mean,
You're true.
okay. I'm getting
But
getting a little off topic.
I think they might notice if you never give Nico Hulkenberg a penalty.
I mean, you could just drive through every chicane straight and just yeah, good overtake. What a move! All right, okay. FIA is just bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the conclusion basically. Every year, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Other former we agreed for Antonelli, perfect team. Uh,
perfect team. McLaren. They did what they had to do. You know,
uh,
they screwed Max. It
they
was well and simple. He couldn't do anything.
I mean, McLaren. I could.
I know it's a
We're
weird
judging
shout,
this
but
based on the race itself, like the
true,
Grand Prix,
true,
not the
true.
championship things in mind, right? I don't feel like we could give this to McLaren for a 2-3 finish, or either it was it a two? Right,
Right.
it was a two
I'm
three
gonna
finish.
be
So no, I, I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that.
be controversial then.
Okay,
Ferrari.
that's not that controversial. They were very close to podium,
They were
which
so quick in the race, both drivers.
yeah.
And you know, honestly, my expectations are so low at this point. My first season of supporting Ferrari has been really something.
Welcome, welcome aboard. You're gonna enjoy this for years to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
God damn, Lewis Hamilton, please leave.
Where does he
So
go?
I can
Even
go
like
back to being happy.
he just. I feel
Well,
like he
we'll
was gonna.
discuss that in our 2027 predictions.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, we gotta do that as well. 27. I did
Yeah.
driver lineup, right? You mean that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that during this winter break that's shortened as well. We're having a private test like in January, which is very, very soon, like this in a month.
Yes,
We're getting F1 cars on track. Obviously, it's going to be private, so no coverage, official coverage from F1. But we're going to see some photos, some analysis, maybe some footage, some random people in the grandstands, like actually doing some recordings. We see that every year. And we've seen that in the past. I don't think we're gonna get no footage from January, but it's gonna be very, very exciting. Yeah, back to the topic. Abu Dhabi, perfect team. Ferrari, controversially maybe a little bit, but their bar set too low, and then getting close to podium is enough for the perfect team. Because I don't feel like this was even a team could be burdened with this. Maybe Aston, but Astro wasn't the points anyway. So, or was he?
He came 10th.
Oh, okay. Aston Martin, then either way, you'll get points. Tragic team. Racing Bulls, I guess. I mean,
yeah, it was a pretty bad race for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
compared to normal.
Fair shout. Yeah, you could get the point for Racing Bulls. I don't feel like there was a team much worse compared to expectations that we.
You might want to, there might be a little bit of a worry there, to be honest, going into next season, because pretty tragic race overall.
Yeah, I don't have much expectations for that team anyway. And they're overachieving. I feel like in the recent years, so maybe two. I don't feel like the team should be in Formula One at all. Like a second sister or whatever junior team. I don't really like that because it just makes it that there's only 10 teams, but one is doubled. Like has 4 seats. That's not really nice. I don't really like this, and I just hope someone buys them off eventually.
We saw this. We even saw in this recent race. It was before Finn got to Sonoda, there was Lawson to get around. So, even in this race, we saw a bit of it.
Yeah, Liam didn't do much there
anyway.
And, he tried, basically, tried to not try to do anything. It's almost like just
I think he made an interesting cutback. I'll give him that. I thought he might be able to regain that position.
I mean, he had nothing to lose. He may just sent it down the inside and crashed Lando. He would probably do more that way than doing nothing because but
then you don't, the FIA would probably figure that out, and then Red Bull would never be allowed to assist the team.
It's not like he would do it on purpose. He would try to re-overtake, right?
Okay. I see. Yeah.
That wasn't even a blue flag. It was just straight up racing, and he could have tried more. Even Yuki could have. There were so many variables, and nothing happened to Lando for some reason. Just
because he absolutely raced his heart out.
Okay. Tragic team racing. Well, that's there. Qualifying.
W point.
P5. What's P5? Right. Russell, right? P5. No.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes, no?
Yes, I believe so. I'm going to have to go and check, aren't I?
Was either Charles or George? I'm not really sure.
It was Charles.
Charles.
Yes, George had an absolutely abysmal start, I remember now.
Yeah. Okay, so no points. P4. Charles P4.
No, it's George P4.
No, it's George. Okay. Wait.
Charles with P5.
Yeah. 2 points. P3. Oh, you get the top three right, just in the wrong order, so I get no points there. And obviously, Saubers weren't really
Ah,
in the top three. So
yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, I was very close, but no points from qualifying elsewhere. P5 in the race. Was who was George, right? P5.
Uh, yeah, yeah, it would. Yeah.
Yeah, P4 Charles, so a point
Yeah.
for me. P4 Loris, P3 PS, sorry, P2 PS3, and P1 Max, so no points. Again. Okay, we didn't score
No
many
points.
points.
No catch up.
Yeah. I mean, it was very close.
Well,
Hulkenberg almost finished second. Uh, yeah, to be fair, like, I expected some craziness to happen here, and then someone getting like 10 points or what. I just, yeah, Abu Dhabi was too much like we expected, realistically.
it was a safe race.
Yeah.
I did not expect a safe race. I can't lie.
And you predicted a
I
safe race,
expected.
just not safe enough, I guess.
Well, yeah, I expected a safe race in another way, but as soon as that quali happened, I thought, we're going to get some craziness here. But because of what McLaren did, there couldn't be. Max couldn't back up the field. He just sort of had to. All Max was doing was sitting there and hoping that Norris's engine would blow up suddenly.
Hmm. Yeah, that was it. Unfortunately, all I could do. Yeah, actual prediction: Hamilton podium. Uh, mm,
If only he'd started in not last.
yeah, he got in Q1, made his way up to P8, almost, but not quite on the podium. 5 places off is like the difference between P1 and P6. It's like almost the same, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my prediction: Oscar Piastri, right? That overtake on Lando lap one, wow, that was like the overtake of the season. Probably deserves 5 points, right?
No.
Oh damn it. Okay.
A rehearsed overtake, an overtake that was rehearsed.
What?
Not rehearsed. It wasn't rehearsed, but it was planned. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Planned? How is it planned?
Yes, they said at the start. They said McLaren said that was a planned overtake.
But how is it? Wait, how is it a planned overtake? That
As
doesn't make
in, they
sense.
wanted Piastri ahead of
Wait.
Norris.
Actually, good. You gotta send me actual like footage,
Well, proof.
proof. Yeah, exactly. Because I haven't seen that.
Okay,
Because
I'll try and
I
I'll
don't
try
know.
and find it. But yeah, it was. They said it was planned.
Because like that, why that doesn't make sense. How would they plan it? Like Oscar was at hard tires, right? It makes no sense for him to be ahead, as they wanted to
No,
prove.
it did make sense because then Max couldn't uh, slow down and so on. It was a
Like
planned.
he couldn't do anything anyway because Piastri would be behind him, or so that
Yeah, that was the plan. They wanted. No, they wanted. Uh,
like why would they switch the drivers up? Like they wanted to get a championship, right? Like they why would that makes zero sense? Absolutely.
I'm telling you, it was planned.
Well, if that was planned, that actually probably
I'll
doesn't
try and find
surprise
an
me because it's
article.
McLaren, right? This season. Okay, I'm so glad this is over. If McLaren is again like the best car next year, I'm probably gonna lose all my hair at this point. Okay,
Here you go. I found an article
okay, I can DM the
for you.
Discord. Quickly just go through it. Don't want cookies. Come on, read for free. There's the race. That's actually a source, like actual source. Uh, was plenty blah blah blah. Things are always on the outside. Start rebuild at the first lap, switch up positions between drivers, tactical element. Teams went to reassure how the tire graining would be, whether or not this would cheap evident for most of the stopper. Well, blah blah blah. Leading the championship. Speeding strategies, with numbers and medium tires, obvious just Piastri. Starting on the hard. But I still don't see because means of using Piastri to try to put this Verstappen under pressure versus medium tires hard. What should you read them? It's such a weird like explanation to drain Verstappen's tires like okay.
Well, it was you know, it's so that
if Stella
Verstappen
said
had
that,
to-
I don't think I have any respect left for the entire McLaren team except the drivers. At this point, they cannot go lower for my standards.
What?
Like they're at Ferrari level right now.
that was that, but that if you think about it, that was a tactical element, so that Piastri had a chance at the titles as well.
If that's a tactical element,
It was because then Piastri has a chance to, you know, fight Max for first, and then if Norris has an issue, then Piastri wins.
well, this was entirely based on trying to put Max under pressure. Well, Oscar would be pushing his harder compound of tires in order for Max to push his tires and grain them. Like that's some Ferrari level strategy there. That's just how do you make
And
this
it
up?
worked.
I mean, did it? Like Max
Yeah.
was comfortably ahead of Piastri coming to the end. Like
Yeah, I
strategy did
suppose.
nothing.
But Max
Lando was under pressure actually. It did the opposite in a way.
to be fair,
I'm not saying that I didn't want Piastri to finish ahead. I just feel like that was a great overtaking. I'm not
I
gonna.
don't think Lando was under
I'm
pressure.
not gonna let Andrea Stella ruin my perception of that overtake because no.
I hate to tell you,
That man
during the
deserves
race,
no
the
respect for me after this season. I've lost all respect for Andrew Stella and Zach Brown. Not that I had any respect for him, but to begin with, but Andrew Stella, yeah. Okay,
Andrew
damn it,
Stella,
McLaren.
it's a bit of demons lost as well.
I'm just so relieved now that the season is over. I can stop. I'm still getting so mad at McLaren for the entire season. Like how they treated their drivers, it's ridiculous. Like they were willing to lose a title just to like not benefit either driver, even though they have done stupid things the entire season just to make it look like it's fair, even though it wasn't. Because it couldn't make makes a sport fair. It's just the competition. There's so many variables like pit stops and so on. So dumb. Okay, McLaren.
I don't.
Goodbye for 2 months. I don't care anymore.
I don't think. I thought it was a good strategy.
Can you just not talk, right? Okay. You're not helping. You're not helping.
Okay.
I mean, got your opinion. I respect that you have your opinion because sometimes you can like leave it to yourself.
It's sort of my job to talk on a podcast about my
I don't think this is
opinion.
the mean way. Just that when you have a McLaren opinion on McLaren strategy and it doesn't match with mine, I'd prefer if it wasn't to be heard. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm just very upset and probably will be for months to come. It was a difficult season to swallow. Yeah, it was good at times, but ended up a very, very bitter taste in my soul. Yeah. Look, I'm not saying Lando doesn't deserve the title. I'm not saying Max doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying Oscar doesn't deserve it. I feel like all of them did enough for a season to deserve the title. I just really dislike the way it was handled during the season, and like super respect to Max that he was even in the title fight coming to the last race because he had no business being there, really. Like, if there was like, imagine the cars were reversed, right? Max would win that title like with 7 races to go in that
But
McLaren.
that's the
With Yuki
right,
as
but,
teammate,
like,
obviously. But yeah, you get what I mean, right?
well, that's that's just how like Max has won the last few titles because he had the best car. So
To be fair, last season is
and
debatable.
is like the best driver. Don't get me wrong, but like the reason that Lando won this title was because he had the best car, but also he did the got the most points, and that's the real main thing is getting the most points.
Yeah, Max, I mean, 2 points away from title. Yeah,
You sound like you want Max to have got the title now.
uh, I have a lot of like feelings about this season. Very very mixed feelings. Like, it's such a season that I will leave a mark on me in the future, like more than any other season so far. I like
Out
it
of
too much.
interest, why?
Wait, which?
Out of interest, why?
Oh yeah, just generally the things that happened this season. I mean, this is the first time I had a driver that I rooted for fight for a title and lose as well. Because I was a fan of Hulkenberg since 2017.
Yes, of course.
And obviously Piastri came into the sport. I really liked him. It was like second favorite driver, and suddenly he was in the championship winning car and winning races and doing so well, leading the championship. It was looking so nice until it wasn't. And
Yeah, I know that feeling.
yeah, just that like, sport is kind of a way for a person to just like leave the real life stuff and just focus on something nicer. And when the sport doesn't even give you something nice, it's really hard to focus. I mean, you know how it feels, right? With a lot of
I mean,
sports that you watch. I mean,
we did get our championship
you've
battle.
seen your Lewis win titles. That's unfortunately I haven't seen anything anyone win anything
No, yeah, that's
in
fair.
my perspective as a fan of any sport so far. Yeah, I'm just envying, honestly. I wish I could be like in your position right now. Obviously, you're upset that Lewis had that season that he had, but it's still like a British driver won with the title. You're probably very happy with that, and
Yes.
happy that you're happy. Yeah, but probably if I'm taking this too personal, I shouldn't probably.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's about big baggage. Honestly, this year, 2025 as a whole, like it's been the most intense and most difficult year of my life. And this title fight into that is just like a fuel into the fire, and it's somehow all just exploded, and somehow yeah, nothing ever worked out this season. I mean, okay, one thing worked out: Hulkenberg podium. If there's one thing that I can be happy about, that happened, right? Hulkenberg won his first podium. That was a very happy moment. I was happy for an entire week after that, and then real life kicked in. Yeah. Anyway, because we covered the predictions, we obviously covered the Norris Yuki thing. We covered the title, like decider, right? Any other things that we mentioned that we forgot to mention from Abu Dhabi?
No. Well done to McLaren and Norris.
I mean, huge congrats to Lando. Obviously, still one of my favorite drivers, even though I rooted for the other one to win the title. I still like Lando, despite all the things. I'm still a part of me is happy that the other half that's not happy is bigger. So it's like like I have mixed feelings still inside of me. I'll still have to like adjust to that, and next season will bring more interesting things, and we'll come to the season with Lando Norris as the reigning world champion. It's gonna be something that we haven't experienced so far. It's like Max was the champion for so long now. I almost forgot how it feels like to have a new champion. Yeah,
And along with that, we're going to have brand new specs, so that it's going to be a huge different season.
yeah, brand new setup for the predictions as well. Like, there's new fancy sheets for all this stuff, and so it's going to be much more tighter than this year. Okay, so I'm going to also try to make it look better on YouTube. Obviously,
I won't lose this year or next year.
Sure. Well, obviously, the points 54 to 66. So, there's one championship that went my way. It's this.
The third season in a row.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's this, like, you being unlucky or me just being lucky. I don't know. But yeah.
I think a bit of being silly as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's all fun and all, after all. I don't feel like it's much of a super competition. Obviously, there's some competition in there. It wouldn't be fun if it wasn't competitive, but we're not taking it like super seriously, right? We're not arguing for points. We're always trying to make compromises because it's fun after all, and I'm really happy that we've been through another year of Formula One together. So thank you to all the fans. Some of those who still left there. We appreciate you, everyone who watches these videos, and listen to us talk about F1. It's the sport we love, and we'll talk about the sport for years to come, hopefully. Yeah, very happy with this season. We've covered it entirely, despite setbacks and many complications that we've had during the year. We still managed to cover every single race, and we're here. Abu Dhabi 25 finished, and 26 onwards, right?
Yes, 26 onwards. Wow.
Okay. Do you want to have some kind of final thoughts moment on the entire season, like as a whole?
It was an interesting season. I think that obviously it comes down to it. McLaren win. Max no longer a world title holder after so long. But it could have been way more simpler, and I think that's something that we both agree on, that they could have. I think this season as a whole has been pretty awful in terms of racing.
On track action.
So it's something that I'm hopefully looking forward to. Next year. I think the nice thing is, right, the cars have been so much more similar this year, and that we had a world championship fight, which is something we haven't seen since 2021. But I think there was, it's a big thing in terms of the cars couldn't overtake each other, and I really hope that they are figuring out that they need to be able to overtake each other, and that next season. So that next season's an interesting one. I'm excited. I feel like we could have 3 teams that are up there, but we'll see. We'll see when it comes to testing.
Hopefully, as many teams and many drivers as we can for the fight, because after all, objectively speaking, this season was exciting despite the lack of racing on track. We had some interesting stories, some drama, and even some racing here and there, and the title fight, which was, I mean, a thing like a title fight happens like once every 4 years. So it was we had a 2016 last Abu Dhabi decider, then we had a 21 obviously, and then now 25 Abu Dhabi decider in the last race. Like once every 4 or 5 years, we get this kind of a season, and hopefully we can have more of them 26 onwards. It's probably going to be... Look, I don't know exactly what will happen this season. No one knows this much forward. No. But these regulations, especially engine-based ones, tend to actually spread the field out. I believe we'll see more one-sided affair next season compared to this one, especially from the drivers' championship point of view. If Mercedes is really as good as promoted, George Russell could win the title with like 5 races to go. We'll always see what's going to happen. Obviously, Newey's in the head of Aston Martin. They're with Honda, Red Bull with Ford, Ferrari being Ferrari. Somehow they just pop out there once in a while to remind everyone that they still exist. They're not like incompetent 99% of the time, or maybe 98. And obviously we have McLaren there, reigning world champions, double reigning world champions. Technically, they won both titles this year, and they won constructors also the year before. So McLaren, obviously the team to beat next year. And yeah, excited for next season and for more race reactions and race predictions. So very, very fun to do this, and hopefully we can continue as long as possible. So thank you, everyone. This is our final race reaction of this season. Thank you so much for sticking with us to this moment. We enjoyed it, and we'll see you next year again. Obviously, we'll see you this year still for some videos, but for the actual like race weekend coverage, we'll see you next season for the Australian Grand Prix in 2026. Already excited for that. Hey. So yeah, thank you again, and peace.
Peace.